1% will grow up to be billionaires. More than 70% will spend their life in the unemployment line, while 15% live to be okay, barely surviving, just on that hook, waiting for a check every week. And then there's that 14% that's locked behind bars. And it became this notorious villain that we see today, who we decided to nickname the bully. Little do they know, their life will never be the same. Luckily, half of that 14% lives to be that 15 that we see to be living okay off a check every day and day. Or maybe they decide to travel through that 17% that happens to stand in the unemployment line hour after hour, minute after minute, only seeing ahead in front of them because they're never gonna get it. Yet, very few of them become that 1%. You know who I'm talking about. Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey. How many of those do you see around that grew up out of the hood or from the compounds? This whole cycle, the ranges from the activity called bullying, teasing, a disperse of rumors, or maybe limiting one's ability to join certain groups, such as our 1%. They never live up to live that valiant life. The attack might be physical, it might be mental, but it will get emotional. So, why do we resort to bullying anyway? The deliberate act of harming or threatening a person whose vulnerability makes them an easy target or very hard for them to defend themselves. Is it to feel majestic? Or maybe you want to jump on a bandwagon because everyone else is doing it. You call those followers on Instagram. Or does it run so deep that bullying is just a tactic derived from the inside done so he or she cannot be the next victim? Is it me? Or is it you? Just become so judgmental and so corrupt that bullying is everywhere now. Whether you choose to see it or you choose to turn your head, look away, and try to ignore the problem that's growing everywhere. At your job, at the school place, at the church. And kids who feel the wrath of the bully, they don't even think home is a safe place anymore. So they leave. They run away to never return, come back. Or maybe school, that's no longer safe. Shoot. So they decide to skip it. Or maybe when they do come home, they decide to go into a nice little closet, take a rope, attach it around their neck, and hang themselves till they become as lifeless as the clothes that they wear. If you don't know already, this is real. Taunting cries for help. Help. Yet we decide to turn our other cheek. We let the words flutter out our other ear like we don't even hear. Want to come home one day and find little Johnny hanging from this very chandelier right here? Blood dripping on the floor. Air nowhere in his lungs. Because his haircut wasn't right. Or maybe he wasn't light skinned. Maybe he wasn't dark skinned. Or he probably had different interests than me and you about who to take to prom. It seems that creativity has become the new tracker for the book. He's drinking up stereotypes and spitting out prejudice. If you ask me, it sounds like a monster that no one seems to care about. Because we found fault in his or her stars, because we're just that judgmental. And you talking about true love? Where's the love at? What has to happen before we make our next move? This should not be another Cold War. If you want to help me get rid of this bully, then I suggest you wake up and get real with me.